Our final senior presenter today is Max Hickman. One of my crowning achievements at the Baylor School is having been friends with Max Hickman for the past 7 years. If you've not met Max, you know of him. He's gregarious, brilliant, and the sort of genuine friend you'd be proud to have. Max, I know you've got something great for us today. Please welcome Max Hickman.
All right, can you guys hear me? All right, perfect. All right, so today I'd like to use my time to discuss one of the most important books ever written, The Rainbow Fish. For those of you unfamiliar with The Rainbow Fish, it is a picture book that I was read in kindergarten, and the book's namesake has a lot of beautiful scales, so many that he was regarded as the most beautiful fish in the whole ocean. All the other fish tried to be his friend and get him to play games with them, but he'd swim right past them, preferring instead to admire how beautiful he looked. One day, a little bluefish asked him if he would donate one of his scales. After all, he had so many, and the bluefish didn't have a single one. The rainbow fish ended up telling the bluefish to get lost. He was never going to give him one of his prize scales. The bluefish tells the rest of the fish how he was treated, and they all decide to withhold the one thing rainbow fish wanted most of all, their adoration. After going on a journey and asking several other sea creatures for advice, the rainbow fish decides to relent. He decides that he would rather be part of the community and gives one of his scales to the bluefish. One by one, the rainbow fish gives away all his scales until he's left with just one. He even says he gave away his most prized possessions, but he was happy because he now had someone to share them with. Y'all, there is a name for what the rainbow fish is. He is a people pleaser. I absolutely do not think that that was the intended message little kids were supposed to take away from the book, but I most certainly did. Now, I've never ripped off pieces of my skin to give to people, but there's a very obvious metaphor for giving parts of you away to make other people happy. For such a long time, I so desperately wanted to fit in that I would bend over backwards to make myself more like those around me. My reasoning was simple. If I did what others were doing, I'd be accepted. I tried out for rowing because a friend kept pestering me about it once we became freshmen. I've taken more classes I wasn't that interested in simply because my friends were taking them than I'd care to admit, and I've spent countless weekends doing activities I wasn't interested in because I wasn't brave to be honest and say that I didn't want to. And this is not to say that good can't come from being influenced by others. Joining rowing has absolutely been one of the best decisions of my life, and it's opened doors for me and given me one of the best communities I could ever ask for. I've liked several of the classes I took, and have had amazing times doing things with friends I never would have done on my own. But doing things for others can only make you so happy. You'll never be happy living someone else's life, too frightened to become an individual. And I've got to admit, it took me an embarrassingly long time to realize a simple fact about life. You are responsible for your own happiness. You deserve to be happy on your terms, because when you look yourself in the mirror each morning, you deserve to love the person you see staring back at you. I can honestly say that I've wasted so much time wishing that I could be different and that I could fit in better with those around me. But what would be the point of that? Being just like everyone else? That's so boring. If to be loved is to be known, you have to know what you are passionate about, what activities you like to do, what you can look back on and feel proud of having accomplished. You don't have to give up parts of yourself to find happiness. You can find people that make you happy, but you absolutely should not put their happiness above your own. Be yourself and find things you're passionate are hardly new pieces of advice for high schoolers. But I swear, y'all, really do try. Be honest to who you are, not just about big things, but about little things too. Love Taylor Swift music. Be the person who collects anything purple, the person full of life, the person who laughs too loudly at jokes, not the person who is scared of what would happen if they were themselves and they end up wasting their life living one not meant for them. After a long time, I can finally say I feel like I know myself. And I love him. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Max. Could we give it up for all 4 of our senior presenters one more time? And with that, we will have some announcements.